Welcome back to Listen and Learn English. I'm Liam, and I'm joined by Sophia. Today, we have a very special episode for our A2 and B1 learners. If you're looking to improve your listening and speaking skills naturally, you're in the right place.
Hi everyone. I'm so happy to be here. Today, we are talking about something that is literally all around us, but we often forget about it until it becomes a problem.
That's right. We're talking about the air. Think about this for a second. We take about 20,000 breaths every day. But do you know if the air entering your lungs is helping you or hurting you?
That is a scary thought, Liam. 20,000 breaths, and we don't even think about it. But in many cities around the world, the air is becoming a big health issue.
Exactly. Today, we're going to discuss why our air is getting dirty, how it affects our bodies, and, most importantly, what we can do to stay safe.
Before we dive deep, let's look at a few important words. Our listeners might hear the word pollution a lot, but what about pollutants?
Great point. Pollutants are the specific things that make the air dirty. Think of them as trash in the air.
And where do these pollutants come from? When I walk down the street in the morning, the first thing I smell is, well, cars.
Yes, that smell comes from exhaust fumes. When cars, buses, and trucks burn fuel, they release these fumes directly into the air we breathe.
It's not just cars, though. I grew up near an industrial area, and those big factory chimneys are always releasing thick smoke.
Right. Factories and power plants are huge contributors. When we talk about these things together, we often use the phrase air quality. If the air quality is poor, it means there are too many pollutants present.
Liam, I've noticed that when the air is particularly smoky or dusty, I start coughing. Why does that happen?
Well, Sophia, it's because of our respiratory system. This is the part of our body that handles breathing, your nose, throat, and lungs. When we inhale, we aren't just taking in oxygen, we are taking in everything else in the air too.
So, if the air is dirty, those tiny particles go deep into our lungs?
Exactly. For many people, this can cause serious health issues. One of the most common is asthma. Have you ever known someone with asthma?
Yes, my cousin has it. She has to carry an inhaler because sometimes she finds it very difficult to breathe, especially on days when the smog is heavy.
It's very tough. Dirty air can trigger an asthma attack. But even for people without asthma, long-term exposure to pollutants can lead to permanent lung problems or even heart disease.
It's a silent danger, isn't it? You can't always see the pollutants, but your body feels them.
You know, Sophia, I remember traveling to a city a few years ago where I couldn't even see the buildings across the street because the smog was so thick.
Smog? That's a mix of smoke and fog, right?
Precisely. It was a combination of exhaust fumes and weather conditions. People were wearing masks, not because of a virus, but just to breathe. It made me realize how much we take clean air for granted.
I had a similar experience. I used to love jogging in the afternoon, but I realized that jogging right next to a busy highway during rush hour was actually making me feel sick. I was inhaling so much carbon monoxide.
That's a mistake a lot of people make. They think they are being healthy by exercising, but if the air quality is bad, they might be doing more harm than good.
Okay, we've talked about the problems. Now, let's talk about prevention. How can our listeners protect themselves?
First, check the Air Quality Index, AQI, on your phone. Most weather apps have it now. If the number is high, usually over 100, you should try to stay indoors.
And if we have to go outside?
Wear a mask. Not just any mask, though. A simple cloth mask doesn't stop tiny pollutants. You need something like an N95 mask that can filter out small particles.
What about when we are at home? I always thought the air inside was safe.
Not necessarily. Indoor air can be dirty too, from cooking smoke or dust. One of my favorite tips is to get indoor plants.
Oh, I love plants. Which ones are best?
Plants like the snake plant or the spider plant are famous for cleaning the air. They absorb toxins and release fresh oxygen. It's like having a natural air purifier.
That's a great tip. Also, making sure your house has good ventilation, opening windows when the outdoor air is clean, can help a lot.
Let's pause for a moment to look at some English phrases we used. Sophia, you said, take it for granted. What does that mean?
When we take something for granted, we use it or have it without thinking about how lucky we are. We assume it will always be there, like clean air or health.
And I mentioned rush hour. For our learners, that's the time of day when traffic is heaviest, usually when people are going to or coming from work. That is the worst time to be outside breathing exhaust fumes.
We also used the word inhale. The opposite is exhale. Inhale, exhale.
We've covered a lot today, from the pollutants coming out of cars to the way our respiratory system reacts to them.
It sounds serious, but remember, small changes matter. Planting a tree, using public transport to reduce exhaust fumes, or just putting a few indoor plants in your bedroom can make a difference.
Your health is your wealth, as the saying goes. Taking care of the air you breathe is a huge part of taking care of yourself.
That brings us to the end of today's episode. We hope you found these phrases and stories helpful.
If you enjoyed this, please give this video a like and share it with a friend who is also learning English.
To make sure you never miss an episode and to keep your learning journey consistent, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications.
Keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next one. Happy learning!